Welcome to the divine platform. This is yours truly, the literati. And all I do is for the edification of the Most High and for the restoration of His kingdom. And yes, I can do all these things through Christ, which strengthens me. And it is my hope and prayer that my words and meditations are acceptable to God. Welcome all. Thank you to my subscribers for always tuning in, and thank you to the new subscribers. We never disappoint here. And for those of you who have not yet subscribed yet, please do so. Okay, let us get started, and I hope to stay on script so that I can make this a more concise video. And it's a two-part series, okay? So, initially, as you can see from the thumbnail, it was revealed to me that these two people on the thumbnail would be in the stage, the world stage, and that they would be the ones to ride us out. And I mentioned this when I did the Antichrist video and the Abomination of Desolation videos. And the thumbnails are here on the screen. So if you haven't seen them, please go back and watch them. So though these two people were shown to me, there was no indication that it was only them or that this was final, that messaging that I received. And I'll put this Antichrist video on public. It's been on private, but I'll put it on public just in case you try to watch it and it wasn't there. Anyway, so well, based on this information that was revealed, I thought this is me. I just limited it and I said, okay, this is just going to be two people until the King of England was coronated. And then the Lord gave me another revelation. He gave me more information. And I did this video that I titled The Three Magi, the Men of Sin. Okay, please watch that too. So it was quite obvious to me that there was going to be three men on stage in the final end days. They will be mimicking and mocking the Trinity of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I did not know who the third person was until I received information very recently, a couple of weeks, maybe about 8 weeks ago. I knew it was not King Charles even when I was doing this video because God told me clearly that that was just a red herring. That I should not let King Charles mislead. That his image was misleading. At least as far as this video is concerned. Okay? So it was clear to me not to focus on him. So I've never done anything about King Charles. Okay? And then additionally, in doing the coronation messaging video, I was required by the Holy Spirit to use the hashtag sign. And like I've said in my previous videos, I do not pick the colors, the titling, or the title of the video. It is all led by the Holy Spirit. And we will see how the Holy Spirit connects everything, okay, as we go along this video. Okay, the other videos I want to link on here are these two that I did more recently. And in these two videos, I brought up the STG code, the STAG. It is a persistent code word. This was given to me when I did the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse. And I did this video, I think, a year after the bridge actually collapsed. And maybe I should address this STG code under the code word playlist. I might do that as well. So these code words are what they use to communicate, but also they are scripts that they use to fuel their deceptions. Okay. So the STG, the stagger, like I said, was mentioned first in the Francis Scott Key bridge collapse. And it's in reference to the Catholic priest homosexual abuse of children. And in the second video, the Hurricane Helene video, where I bring up that word again, it's in reference to the loss associated with the Hurricane Helene. But we know it's a code word for the satanic pedophilia ritual that was planned, but this ritual was disrupted by the hurricane. Please watch both videos, actually all of them, because everything connects in my videos, everything. I am not doing this. I'm working through the Holy Spirit, or the Holy Spirit is working through me. Okay? I believe this video that I'm doing is probably the final major code for the STG. It's the final one because we are heading into the final reset. So I think this is going to be the final video with the STG code. And just by the way, the STG code is also the STD code, but I'll just focus on the STG code. So there's three stooges who are coming to the world stage, okay? But let's look at stooge, the definition first, okay? So what's a stooge? A stooge is one who plays a subordinate or compliant role to a principal. So these people are playing roles, they're actors. It's a clown show. They're decoys to draw others into the net, to draw the children of God into the net. They want your soul. They are created, the stooges. They are created or engineered, and their vessels are then imbued with the spirit, that malevolent spirit, to do as they wilt. Okay? Remember, in this manifest dimension, the body as a license of operation is required, otherwise you are nothing, literally. So these actors, they are on a stage and they campaign all their lives to fit the role. They have handlers of the underworld, and we know what the underworld is made of. Watch videos that I've done before because I talk about the underworld quite extensively. These people we see are just bodies, they are vessels, imbued or occupied by several spirits at any given time and throughout their lives. So the spirit that occupies, let's say Trump, now is not the same one that occupied him 20 years ago. Okay? They just keep on switching out and acting out, until they win the role. So the best winner gets the STAG award, okay? The Stooge award, the stage award, okay? Remember, anytime they're on stage, they're auditioning and campaigning for the role, and the best actor wins. Also, it's important to note that at any one time, there's more than one person vying for that role, and the best man will win. So in one person, there's several spirits, or several spirits occupy that person to win the role. But there's also several people running like that. So there's maybe 4 other people who are auditioning for the Trump role, and these people each have those spirits in them. So whatever they put forth is not set in stone. They're not all knowing. They're not all powerful. That's why they have to present as many people as possible. They have to hedge. They have to bet their chances, okay? And also they do this to switch out the person if they have to. And especially when we expose them like we are doing, like I'm doing now, they tend to switch it out. Okay, at least they try to. So they gaslight us in that sense. Nevertheless, we should expose them like it says in Ephesians 5:11. We should not have any fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather we must reprove them. The Antichrist is a role, and the best candidate will win. They have big demonic handlers behind the scenes vying for control of God's children through their evil shenanigans. So in the next few screens, I will look at the definition of the word STAG. As you already know, on this channel we deal with the definitions because these entities actually play by those definitions, by the roles. They're clearly defined in those definitions, the role they're playing. Okay, and I will use only the immediately relevant definitions for the word STAG. All the other definitions matter. I will only pick the very relevant ones. Okay, so we'll look at the first set of definitions. So what's a stag? It's someone that's unaccompanied by someone of the opposite sex. So when these characters, these stooges, are all finally on the world stage, they will not be accompanied by someone of the opposite sex. So we need to start researching, or we just need to be aware the gender of their partners or their spouses. Okay? Their spouses might not be what they present as. And we clearly know of Big Mike. So the other one, I think the spouse is going to be an MTF, and I'll show that. So it will be a male representing as a female. And then the other one who just got elected, do your research on that entity who masquerades as a spouse. Okay? And we know this is not far-fetched because the Bible clearly states that in Daniel 11:37, neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all. Okay, the Antichrist is a pluralistic term, and anyone who blasphemes the Holy Trinity is an Antichrist. So the term can and should be taken to mean each one of the three stooges that will come on scene. Each one of them fits or should fit that description of the Antichrist for them to fit the role. Okay? The second definition of a stag is intended for a male audience. Like we have seen on the previous screen in Daniel 11:37, they have no desire for women. So by implication, they're inclined to a male audience. I mean, I know this explanation kind of utilizes a not so obvious deductive reasoning, but again, this is how they play their games. It is not apparent, but it is what they're doing. And just as a side note, this no desire for women is where the war on women originates from, but that's not the purpose of this video. So this entity or entities have neither a desire for nor an interest in women. When they are with women, it's an act, or they are not women they are with. See, they are intended to or for a male audience. Okay, and it says in Romans 1:27, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meet. And Leviticus 18:22 warns us, thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. But these people are focused on transgressing the laws of God. So they'll do the complete opposite. They're arrogant, they're defiant, they're in your face. Okay. So let's look at the third definition of stag. It's an adult male red deer. Also, it's the male of various other deer, especially the genus Cervus. Specifically, the musk deer, Muscidae of Asia. But I put this just so that we can look at the Musk, Elon Musk, and how he's getting tied into all this. So this definition is loaded with information that is easily relatable to what is happening right now. Okay, especially the musk deer, because this fella just didn't show up unless he's part of the whole game. And I already mentioned him or alluded to him when I did the video, one of my very earliest videos, are people who is who. Okay, to me it was revealed to me that it's a cyborg kind of fallen angel technology, mimicking the that book ecclesiastical via the Tesla. Sorry about that. I always have a hard time pronouncing that word. And hopefully, by the grace of God, I will do a whole video on Tesla. Anyway, in short, Tesla was an alien, not the genius we are made to believe that he was. But anyway, this is about the STAG definition and how that alien technology right away ties in. Okay, the fourth definition of STAG is it's restricted to men. So whatever is STAG is that which is restricted to men. It is similar to but different from intended for, you know. So what's intended for a male audience and what's restricted to a male audience is different. For what's intended for a male audience is not restricted to men. Whatever is restricted to men specifically bars or excludes women, and I would argue straight men. What is restricted to men would have to be homosexual behavior, because that is clearly not what a woman or a straight man can or will do. Okay, a straight man or a woman will not have relations with a homosexual man. So in that sense, STAG is restricted to men. So the STG code continues to fully define these people, their plan and agenda, and it is how they're playing the book of Daniel. Okay? Now let's look at the second set of definitions of STAG. Okay, the first four definitions are all of the same theme and deal more or less with homosexuality. Now the second definitions lead us down a rabbit hole, but it is all quite consistent and I want to say interesting. So STG means sterling British pound. So STG is clearly linking us to UK. Okay, and this is important as I make my case about the third stooge. Okay. So in connecting the dots, which is critical so as to see the whole picture of what is exactly happening, the STG is a pound. The systems in place were set up as programming mechanisms for the times we are in, for the evil kingdom, to make sure that what they want comes to pass. We participate in these systems without qualification, without rebuking or rejecting. Let us always be aware when we engage in this system. And we need to note that when the Euro, the European Union, I think was being formed, the pound was never, the euro was, okay, let me back up. The pound was never included in the euro. So the pound remained an independent currency. It's for a reason. It's for this reason. So pound, the name is equivalent to pound because that pound sign, that's a pound sign, and then we have pound. So pound is equivalent to hashtag or the number sign. So let's keep on connecting the dots. So the pound sign is also referred to as a hex. And what does hex mean? Witchcraft. To practice witchcraft, to be affected by an evil spirit, it's a spell, it's a jinx. And like I said in my last video, maybe the previous one, we are all under witchcraft. Everything that's not of God is witchcraft. And God has specifically focused on witchcraft and revealing its machinations or how it works and exposing it so that people can know exactly what's going on. They cannot hide anymore. They cannot hide anymore. Hex means six. Six is six-sided. So like the coffin, like the hexagon. A coffin has 6 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So see where we came from with the stag, the pound, the hashtag, and now we're on the coffin. And like I've shown in my previous videos, again, I'm sorry I have to keep on referencing them because you have to have watched them to know what I'm talking about. These are dead entities, okay? They are of the culture of death. They are from the underworld. They will meander all over the place, changing names, locations, but they cannot escape who they are and what their agenda is. Their agenda is to get souls stuck in the underworld. Okay? So when one is hexed, they are trapped in the box. So my question is the body trapped when you get a hex? Is this the mark of the beast? I don't know. So summarily, we went from STAG to hashtag to sterling pound. A hexagram is the cube, by the way. The grid is a number hex. The hashtag key is hex is a number sign. Remember the Francis Scott key? This is the number key. So the stance of information with this STG code, okay? So next, let's focus on the hashtag. Okay, so tic-tac-toe is a game kids played a lot. Not as much now, but they did play it a lot. And many of these innocent games we play are ritualistic tools. The rituals we have been engaging in to make sure that their plans come to pass. See, we are the creators. We create, they cannot create. So what they do, they trap us with their devices, with their mischievous devices to engage in these activities. And once we engage in those activities, we are creating the reality that's programmed in there. We are running the code, okay? So we make their plans come to pass. So this tic-tac-toe is a hex game. It's a hashtag game, like you can see here. TIC, TAC, TOE is the same. They're using that hashtag to play the game, okay? And this is the code they were playing using the tic-tac, but they're using the hashtag. And how is this game played? In this game, when you get 3 in a row, the game is over and the matrix has to be reset and to start all over again. So it could be 3 in a row in any direction, horizontal, diagonal, or vertical. And if you're not familiar with this game, just search on the internet. And even the very name of the game, tic-tac-toe, are clues for who the Three Stooges are. But I think they've taken a different code. So it's still the hashtag, but I think what they've done now is the old code was this tic-tac-toe, but the new code is the TikTok. But what is in the third bottom row? See, with this TikTok, it's not readily apparent who is on the third row, what letters. And this could be your assignment, because when we find those letters, we will find who the third person is. And this was just, boom, revealed to me by the Holy Spirit. So like I said, they hedge their bets. They have so many opportunities. They create so many opportunities to succeed because they're not all-knowing. So with this hashtag, there's 8 possible ways to win the game. And imagine there's 8 possible ways, and maybe for every one letter or each and every box, there's how many boxes? 1, 2, 3, there's 9. They probably have 3 people for each, you know? So they have several actors and players at any given time. And there's 8 possible outcomes. So like if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, those are the possible ways you can get 3 in a row. So those are all the possible ways that they can win this game. And this game is also known as, for those of you not from the US, I think it's known as hugs and kisses or knots and crosses. Yeah. So whatever row they get, the people who get that row must have if it's fit the code. So if it's the TTT, and this is going to be confusing because I didn't put everything here. Sorry guys. The IA or the CCE. Let me go back. So like the TIK code, the TOK code, the TOC code, the whichever code, the TTT, the IAO, they have to fit that code to win that role, so to speak. So we already know two of the people, and that's Trump and Obama. Who is the third person? Okay, the third person where we have the green question mark. And how do Trump and Obama fit in this code already? Because look at that, the new code, and relate it to this. How do they fit in there? Yep. So I want you to comment below how you think they fit in there. Just as a by the way, for those of you who are wondering where the hashtag came from, this is the number 3 on the number key. See, 3 is hashtag. And like I said, this was revealed to me when I did the 3 Magi. When I did that video when the king was coronated, I was required to use that sign. And that's when I did that. And also one more thing about the hashtag. And now hashtag is everywhere. You have to hashtag everybody. Hashtag everybody. Tag everybody. By the way, that tag could be another code, but I believe they went with the TO and then the last person's name for the code they're using now. So the use, just an interesting detail here, the use of hashtags was first proposed by American blogger and product consultant Chris Messina in a 2007 tweet. It's interesting to note that Chris Messina is like Christ the Messiah. So this is all planned out. We know that, right? It's nothing new. It's not like somebody just discovered something. No, this is all planned out, okay? So, do you have any guesses on who the third person is? Please leave them in the comments below with your reasons, okay? And thank you so much for watching. Questions, comments, suggestions are always welcome. Please share your opinions. Remember, all is truth. There can only be truth. Everything else is a distraction. Do not be distracted. And please stay tuned for part 2. Okay? That's when I'll reveal who this third person is. Thank you.